going down. The Pride Huggin'. Yeah, Manolo, Mr. Doe, Flo Frazier.
Came to find out that Wendy Williams is the first female talk show host to average 1,500 yards receiving in high school.
They say, P, don't worry, it's all timing. I slid in like a nigga that didn't pay, backdoor style. Shut the club down with a K. You know, NC at it again, aiming at your cabbage again. I flow with a magical blend. Step up, get dropped to a tragical end. You know the kush got my lungs about as black as my skin. From Raleigh, NC down to Duluth, Georgia.
But I did save a lot of money on my car insurance. I know some of you think I switched to Geico. I just stopped paying the insurance.
And the cat that been thinking peanuts like Jimmy Carter. Got that lava, game time not a problem. Mr. Clutch and watch me go up when I'm popping.
Lights, action, cameras flashing. Girl, you know this song. Yeah, layback stuff. Trying to take you home. It was all a dream. I like the way it's going down. I like the way it's going down.
Yo, what up? Welcome to another episode of The Slice. Again, we on the move. We outside of the temporary Good Nights comedy spot, you know what I'm saying? I'm one of your hosts, Teron Rogers.
You know, I'm your boy HL, and with us today we got the one, the only, the extraordinary Matt White. Thanks for coming to kick it with us, man.
Thanks for having me.
Man, so for those who've been living under the rock for the past 10 years, Matt White is one of the premier comics in the Raleigh, the Triangle area. And he's also a teacher of young comics trying to find their way, as well as a mentor of some of us who's just trying to, maintain our course of action, as well as he's also an improv master. So, Matt, let me ask you a question, man. How did you get here? What's your comedy journey been like, man?
My comedy journey, okay. You want all of it?
Yeah,
short story.
So, I was a class clown. Started there, 7th grade. So, class clown. I kind of started before that. Like, I was this fat kid growing up. It's almost like the classic story. But I had this one kid that used to joke me all the time. And this one day, I said something back to him, and it made my friends around, just everybody around, laugh harder than what he was trying to do. Mm-hmm. And that's when it just kind of clicked. And I said, oh, okay. If I take it, it's just going to be bad. But if I dish it back out, I can kind of like manipulate it a little bit. So that's when I kind of first figured it out, that I can be funny, just to get people to stop messing with me. But then I just took it to another level. My brother was funny, and he was like 2 years older than me, so he kind of showed me almost like an outline of how to be a class clown. He showed me how to do it wrong, so I found ways how to do it right, so that way I didn't get in much trouble as he got into.
Okay.
But we had a teacher my 7th grade year, Miss Passion. It was funny. We both had the same teacher. We both did almost the same stuff. And I had a parent-teacher conference with my mom. I did everything this lady told my mom I did. And the fact that she kept calling me my brother's name, my mom didn't believe none of it. My mom just eventually just ended it. It's like, his name is Matthew. And just was like, we out of here. And I was like, ooh, thank the Lord, because I would have got my ass beat, because I did everything she said I did. But I started there and just kind of like, I don't know, it's weird. It's a weird thing when you're playing off a comedy, but when you're a class clown, it's the same type of thing. I got an audience. I got to find the right ways to make some of these people laugh, and I got to do it without getting in trouble. Easy way to do it is you get in trouble, but if I can do it in a way where I don't get in trouble and get sent out of class, I make good grades too. So it's like, okay, like I ain't really disrupting the class if I ain't hindering myself. So I just found ways to work it. Was doing that. Got to high school, ended up getting a theater. Didn't really want to do that. But my brother did it though, so almost anything he kind of did before me. There's like entertainment-wise type stuff. I saw he was in a play. He was in Greece. And there's not a lot of niggas in Greece. He was the Vince Fontaine character at the high school dance.
Yeah.
He did that part. He had this little burgundy suit. He real skinny, did this little burgundy suit. I went to see the show, and the one thing that stood out to me, it was not him reciting lines. It was just literally him on stage just being himself. Yeah. And they let that go. For like they let that happen in the play, because there was at least 2 runs of it, but they let that happen. And after that, I was like, if he can do that, I can do that. So at the next year, I got into theater, did a lot of stuff that way. Theater led me to ECU, got into improv at ECU. I did a little bit of improv in college because it's not college but high school because it's what is it? It's a acting thing.
Right.
So I did a little bit of that and just a little bit, but I got more into it in college because it was just part of acting as well. And I got turned down 3 different times trying to get into this improv. And I watched Whose Line Is It? I watched a lot of funny stuff. Like there was so much stuff that I already had a knowledge of funny material. Like I watched Comic View all the time growing up. I watched Martin all the time. Anything that was funny, I was absorbing it. So I was absorbing it, and I go back to school and do stuff with my friends, even wrestling, because they had a sense of just funny stuff too. Like we'd just go back, absorb, and just do stuff like that in school. And I always thought improv was just you had to go out there and be funny. So the first audition, I went out there and was all right. I'm gonna just try and make everybody laugh in this audition. Did it. I was in scenes doing stuff that I was okay. All right. At the end of it, I was like, I got this for real. Cause I did what I told myself to do. Dude told me at the end, and he was one of my friends. I hung out with him. I made him laugh too. He's like, yo, your improv is too much like stand up. I was like, what? I didn't write nothing down. I didn't come in here with jokes. Yeah, I was able to create them, but I didn't come in here with jokes. Right. I mean, like, okay, I didn't know that was a part. I didn't even know it was a structure to it. Right. Like, I just thought you just had to be funny. And then, but he didn't put me in to get in, so I had to audition again. Kind of felt like I was going to get into that. I dialed it back a little bit because I was an actor. So I did like the little scene work and stuff like that, did character work. Kind of like, they was like, yeah, you good. But then after that, never told me when practices was. So like,
excuse me.
They let me in, but then let me in. But then the third time, still got rejected again. One person couldn't get in it. And the guy I worked in with the shop, I did like technical theater stuff at ECU too. So I didn't just do stage.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Get all the sneeze.
All right, that's the last one.
Okay.
They come in 3s.
Now I feel like I need to wrap it up. Okay, so wrap it up.
It's the pollen, man.
Wrap it up. Oh yeah, you're right.
It's the pollen, man. That shit started happening today.
Yeah, I saw that. I can't wear black now like I want to because of the pollen. But anyway, third group. Didn't get in initially. Dude, I worked in with the shop. It was in like the prop shop. I did technical theater. I know how to actually design a set. I can help people actually build the scenery. I can do prop work. I can do painting work. They know I know how to do any of that. But that's what I went to school for. But the guy, he was in the prop shop with me. He came down and said, hey man, this dude can't do the improv thing. Do you want to do it? I could have been salty as shit about it. I could have been mad. He's like, man, I did this shit 3 times and y'all didn't put me in. He said, you want to do it? I said, yes, I do. And I haven't looked back since.
Okay.
I went into that. We couldn't get into the first show until we proved that, and I had no improv training. We couldn't get into the first show until we proved the show ready. I got into that first show. Like everything they taught me, everything I learned, I processed all that. And I absorbed it and I did it. A lot of rules. A lot of stuff that I didn't expect improv to have. But it's still doing the improv journey, and everybody kept telling me I should do stand-up. Everybody kept telling me I should do stand-up. I never really wanted to do stand-up. And eventually, one of my older sister's girlfriends, a girl that she had a crush on, like back in the day, I was just talking to her, just kind of like she was in a bad mood or a sad mood, and I was just talking to her, making her laugh and stuff like that, and she mentioned it to me. She was like, you should do stand-up, you should do that. And that's when I really took it seriously.
Trying to impress a chick.
I was, man. She was older too, man. I say to this day, if you see this,
go ahead, say her name.
Petra, I'm going after you. I'm coming after you. I don't care who your man is. She was light skinned too. She was like,
she was a red bone?
Yes, like I wanted. So I know you might be a little thicker, but anyway, it's all good.
They all thicker now. I love that part. I love watching people get fat from high school.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, bitch. and your little fat kids can get it too.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. But no, she said it, and I put myself on the path to start it. Me and my brother, we always liked comedy stuff, and we kind of we call ourselves we were the White Brothers, so we always kind of wanted to be like the Wayans brothers.
Okay.
And that was kind of like our thing. And I told him one day, I was in Philly for the summer vacation in college, and I was like, yo man, I'm thinking about doing stand up. And he told me if you open the door, I'll be there with you to walk through it. This nigga still ain't walked through it yet. But I opened that motherfucker door and ain't closed that shit. I'm still waiting.
Still waiting for him to do it.
I'm still waiting to do it. Like for right now, he's one person I actually try to make laugh. I don't actually try to make nobody else laugh but him. Gotcha. Because he showed me how to do it.
So what do you want this to take you?
See, I don't know. It's a tough thing, but ultimately, I want to do comedy for the rest of my life.
Right.
I know success is different from most people, but the fact that I do have an acting background, I got an acting agent right now and I audition for stuff. I've done some commercials and stuff like that, but ultimately I want to be able to, one, have a comedy special where maybe it can be stand-up, or have some type of comedy special. It can be a sketch comedy show. Have some type of comedy special. It can be an improv show. But I want to produce a big show on a big platform. I would love to have a sitcom on any type of platform. I always like the old school sitcoms because to me they just worked out better when you had a set and just playing in this little location. But the new age sitcoms, they work too. But I would love to have a sitcom, love to write for one. I would love to write a movie.
Well, what's your favorite sitcom that's on now?
I don't even watch sitcoms that's on now, man.
Have you seen the Miss Pat show?
I haven't seen it. I've heard about it because I know Tom Simmons. He's one of the writers on it.
Yeah.
He's out of Greensboro, and I know about it. And I know about Miss Pat too a little bit because I know some people that's worked with her. So, but the fact that he tells me about it and just seeing that it's still going through, it's
Man, it's a funny show, bro.
What's his name again?
Tom Simmons.
White guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him at the Idiot Box.
Yeah, he's one of the funniest comics in Greensboro, dude.
Okay.
And can work any room.
Really?
And he loves black rooms. That's the great part about it. He loves black rooms.
And that was a couple of
Black
years ago.
Rose is hard too.
Yeah, but that's his shit.
Yeah.
That's his angle. He's won comedy competition. He won the San Francisco. I forgot what it's called. He won a comedy competition in San Francisco. And I found out he was just in Greensboro, just chilling. And that's still what he's just chilling. One of the funniest people in North Carolina. Well, probably one of the funniest people. Period. I worked with him. This dude had a little note card. I'll never forget this. He had a little note card, kind of like line dot dividing it, and just in small writing, just individual jokes, just one line, just individual jokes. He had that thing full on both sides. Watched that dude do 2 hours. After I
With
already,
that little ass call.
yes, with that little ass card.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
So it's like when I saw that, I was like, I ain't doing enough.
So let me ask you this: being that you've been in the comedy scene, who are some notable comics that you would mention that people should keep their eye on?
You for one.
Definitely.
No, for real. And both of you too. Not even just because y'all interviewing me. So, I play off of the black comics in this scene. This ain't no disrespect to nobody else. The white comics, I'm personally not trying to compete with them. I'm personally, in a way, not trying to compete with the black comics, but I have to pay attention to what the black comics are doing.
Right.
All of them. Even the ones that don't do stuff around here, I'm paying attention to what all of them are doing because, one, that's my demographic. That's who I am. That's part of my culture. I learned from them. It's not about I want to do this and do that. Yes, I want to work clubs. I want to do the mainstream thing. But again, I'm not trying to do something that I'm not a part of.
Right.
So I pay attention to the black ones. Most of the ones that I really school and help are the black ones.
Mm-hmm.
The black females, the black males. I can help some of the white ones, but they don't listen to stuff. In terms of the experience alone, I can help y'all just because of my experience, because of what I've been through. So it ain't about it ain't about right now me trying to tell you how to write a joke. And so I can help you navigate the system.
Yeah.
Which is probably the biggest.
Which is what you've been doing for me for the past couple of years
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
And it's the biggest thing. And somebody will kind of be like say we on the show together with somebody, even though we both in that competition. So from day one, I looked at the lineup and the list of the competition. I was like, okay, HL is one of the people that I got to watch, that I worry about, because you funny, right? Not the fact that you coming after me, you funny. And there was several other ones, and the lineup, even the finals lineup, okay, it is what it was. That's who made it to the finals. But how it played out, personally, in terms of how stuff played out, if I didn't follow you, it probably would have been a different result.
You think so?
Yeah, because of I watched you go on stage before me, so you showed me what you did.
Yeah.
I've done this before, and I am not sold to. I only got to do this material.
Yeah.
A lot of times when I'm in competitions, I did it with Anthony Crawford. He's Greensboro High Point area.
Mm-hmm.
When I won the Carolina's Funniest competition at DSI, did the same thing. He was in this competition, and he was in a lot of my rounds. The crazy part about it is just how it worked out. A lot of times he went before me.
So you got that.
And the thing is, if a black comic goes before me, I have to change up my set because to a certain crowd, if there's all white people in this crowd, you're the first black person they see, and you're funny. Now you've set the mold. You've set the mold for anybody else coming after you.
I see that.
So it's like I can either ride that wave, or if I want to separate myself from you, I have to do something that you didn't do.
Yeah.
So with Anthony Crawford, thankfully at the time, Anthony Crawford was a long-winded comedian. He was funny, but it took him way too long to get to his punchlines.
Okay.
So watching his set, I was like, all right, cool. This is what he did, so this is what I have to do after this. So it wasn't about just, like, a lot of times it's not about who's the funniest. Sometimes strategy comes into play.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to do that. I have to kind of separate myself from my own, which is weird because we always kind of pit against each other.
They always pit us against each
Yeah.
other.
But when you think about it, like how many shows have we been on together?
Few, about two.
Outside of the competition. Think about
2.
Yeah.
We did the one in we rode down to Morehead City.
yeah.
And then we did the one that you were hosting, but you was really hosting that one. You really wasn't featured. That was at in New Bern, I want to say.
Yeah.
Those are 2 shows we did together.
Yeah.
So
Outside the
Did
contest.
one show with you.
yeah,
in Hertford.
just hosting and like the show that I put together. So like I have to put together shows to put all of us on the line.
Yeah.
Which is weird, right? When you think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like your style is different from mine. You talk about totally different stuff. You talk about totally different stuff. I talk about totally different stuff. What's the difference, right? We still all funny. We still all funny. So we've been talking about the like a tour with me, you and Mello and stuff like that. It's like the thing is we would have to set it up for anybody to take it seriously, because everyone feels like, okay, if I got HL on the show, where we get to a level where like, okay, if Mello's on the show, you hardly ever see either one of us on that same show. If you're on that show, you hardly ever see me or Mello on that show. If I'm on that show, you hardly ever see either, like, same things, because I don't think they're looking at it like that. But it's like it's one of those things. Okay, we're funny enough when we put ourselves up to this place where most people don't feel like we. I don't think they feel like we all could be on the same show, but we should be all on the same show.
Yeah.
Because if we were on this, we'll make each other better just being on the same shows together.
Iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel.
Yeah.
Still sharpening steel.
Instead of having a showcase where
You pick one.
yeah, you pick one of them and then you got, okay, I get the diversity element of it, but if there was a show where everybody on the show was funny, think about how that show would work.
And the thing is, I've been dying just to be part of a show that is solid from beginning to end, without no slow spots, no unfunny comics and stuff. And it's very rare. There's gonna be one.
Yeah.
There's gonna be at least. But the thing is, then that's why I'm proud of like being able to have my show at Good Nights, because I get to select the lineup. And I never really had my choice to select the lineup. So it's Janine, Teron, and me.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a funny show from beginning to end.
Yeah.
If I don't suck.
Oh, so you said
If I don't suck, because the thing is, like you're only as good as your last set. To me, like so, it's what have you done for me lately? So anything that I did up until Thursday doesn't matter. It's all about Thursday right now.
And I get that. I get that mentality about it. But think about this though. It's your show.
That's what I'm trying to pour into it.
So, mentality-wise for headliners, right? And this is what I've noticed just by working with a lot of them. They don't worry about the crowd because the crowd is there to see them. They don't worry about like, okay, I can riff this, I can do this. They can take chances, they can do anything they want to because the crowd is there to see them. Once you get into that place, and I did it in April. I had a show in April where I was upstairs. That first show, I planned it out. I was going to record it. I had everything like planned out how I wanted to go. Didn't go nowhere near close how I wanted to go. But they went everywhere I wanted them to go.
Gosh.
Because like my plan got destroyed because I get on stage, they start talking to me. I wasn't even trying to do too much crowd work, but I love doing crowd work.
You two are great at crowd work, and I still can't do it.
I love crowd work only because crowd work is almost easy. Because it's all about it's 100% reaction.
Yeah.
Like it's all about and it's a little bit of like leading someone to where you want them to go. But like me, it's just fucking with people. Like because the thing is, like when you're doing crowd work, you fucking with somebody, and that's what I do best.
Yeah.
But I don't do too much crowd work because I'm focused centrally on my set.
Yeah.
And then and almost it's like when someone makes me do crowd work, I almost get a little irritated. Like, bitch, you fucking my shit up right now.
I'm trying to do something right
like
now.
I remember I did a joke. I was like, I hate my job. Where do you work? Bitch, fuck you. I ain't even going into that. Now I gotta go into that.
That's funny. funny because we did. I was literally doing a type of exercise with my students tonight, like where they were just doing 30 seconds and just to try to find ways that they can play off of stuff that they haven't played off of in their jokes. Just 30 seconds. So once they start talking, they'll say something. Then I'll just ask them a question. And the whole goal is just answer the question. Don't go back into the joke. Just answer the question. And the ones that did it found stuff. The ones that did it and just played with it, they had got laughs. There was stuff that happened. Like it makes them comfortable. Like it almost seems like it's a mistake, but it ain't. It's like, look, now it teaches you how to run with the mistakes. But it's the reaction aspect. Yeah. And I really love fucking with people. Like I really love doing it.
Like I said, I know him as far as like how his personality is, quick with it. You know what I'm saying? You just said like you were a class clown.
Yeah.
So that attention is on you.
Yep.
So that's why I can see like it works for y'all, for you two, like in that. Me, like, so I'm scared as hell on stage, so I'm sticking to my bottle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm straight on the bottle.
Hey, don't. I promise there's no one at this table that's more of a shivering bitch on stage than me.
No, but
I'm telling you, man, dude. I remember that contest that we was in. I remember my knees was knocking on stage, dude.
So like I was so used to being in that situation. I've done that. I made it to that finals of that contest so many years. So I wasn't as nervous. Like each year, the nerves dial back a little bit.
Yeah, they do.
But like the one of the good things about that one, I was last.
Yeah, you were dead last.
I was dead last, so it's like, okay, I get to watch everybody. I get to see how everybody's sets go. But if I wasn't last, if I was in the middle of that, if I was kind of like first, it still would have. The nerves would have been there.
I went second this past year. Worst spot to go. Like they literally forgot about me. So whenever like they did, I was like, man, come on, let me get up out of here. Cause the same thing happened both years. I'm like, I'm never doing this. Like you know how you get that point where you're like, I ain't never doing this again. Fuck it, I'm done with comedy. Fuck the club. Fuck everybody in there.
Fuck you. Fuck your mama.
Yeah.
Fuck Good Nights as a label.
I was on my way home, man. I'm sitting here like son of a bitch. Like they did this shit to me again.
Yeah.
So you get that moment, man. And I
my
promise,
joke book make sure none of your family grow, nigga. But
going straight hit them up.
Yeah, but like, it's just one of those things, man. Like the craziest mentality to be in a contest, hands down, is not to give a fuck about winning.
Yeah, see, that's me. Like I tell him all the time. For me, when I enter a contest, I enter it for the fact I know I got a stage that night.
Yeah.
I know I got stage in some time.
I'm competitive, nigga. I'm trying to win.
No,
and that's just me. I'm competitive. If it's a contest, if it's a contest, I'm gonna try to win that contest because it's a contest.
I want to do that, but I don't get caught up. Again, like I focus on the fact that boom, I got a stage. But when I go out, I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if it falls into place, then it does. Ultimately, though, like I won because, again, I'm able to tell people this date, this time, I'm performing.
Yeah, you know ultimately I lost because I told people this date, this time. They saw me take an L to...
Oh, man, they got to remember that if they remember the L, once you get over the L, once you get those dubs, the L is like, yo, I remember this, but you here now. I think you can't grow without the L's, man.
Yeah, you can't. You can't grow without the L.
Yeah, it's like Lauryn Hill at the Improv. No, not the Improv, Apollo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can't grow without it, and like it's just one, especially in this game, it's because you learn from it. It's like you still doing it.
If you're a fool, you don't. But
yeah.
If you're smart, you'll learn from you'll make them learning experience.
Yeah, and each elements, I can tell you about each one of them. Each time, there's specific things that I learned from it. It's okay. All right, I'm gonna benefit off of this. I'm gonna go off of this. I'll come back to that shit. One year, I told myself I ain't gonna do it. I was like, you know what? I did get to the fast line, but I was mentoring people. So I was like, I'm not going to do it, and I didn't want to be in a place where I had to really compete with people that I really felt like, okay, like look, like this ain't nothing. I ain't trying to destroy no relationships or destroy no situation just because we in this comedy competition and we both want to win it, and we can't work together to win it or stuff like that because it really does put you against each other.
Yeah, it does. Like, and that's what I don't like about contests. I like when I show up to a show. And ain't no contest, it's a better vibe.
Yep.
Everybody's like, yo, what's good? What's good? Yeah, let's do this shit. Let's have a good show. Contest, everybody over there plotting. Looking.
What that nigga wearing? Like,
oh shit,
yeah.
He showed the fuck up.
This nigga got on the J's. God damn it. And it was like, it's like, man, I would hope that nigga got lost in traffic. Come on, man.
Yeah.
But like, it's one of those things when you see certain people show up, it's like, damn it. But it's just like if you just let go. Some of the people that get to the finals a lot of times, because I always try to figure out, it's like, how does this motherfucker make it to the finals? Some of the ones that don't, that are not even, it's just stage time to them. They're not even thinking about that. The concept test aspect is just stage time, and they progress. They go through it because they ain't even stressing themselves out. Mm-hmm. They ain't even focusing on that. And it's just this is such a mental game where at any point, if you think the wrong thing, it's a wrap.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. I remember back in the day, y'all used to have the Oak City Comedy Festival, and that became a staple. I remember it was 2018. Y'all had Raleigh popping that week. It was like, this is what Raleigh.
It was a Tuesday. I think we started on a Tuesday. We started on Wednesday, but it was 5 days in a row. It was 5 days in a row, and it wasn't like one show this day, one show this day. It was like, no, it was multiple shows every day. And the goal
multiple
was
venues, great venues. There was
all
never
over
no.
town.
Yeah, I mean,
What
dude,
year was
this was
2018.
2018. I was blessed to be one of the only like rookies in the festival, because like, yeah, it was just me and Janine, I think, and everybody else was like seasoned, you know, that already been there. And I just submitted mine just off of like I did my comedy contest for my first round. That's what I submitted. I was like, man, if I get, I got in. But like, I mean, they had some of everybody. They had Chanel Ali was there, and she was just she was hanging out. We played spades.
Yeah, man,
like
she was one of the headliners.
Yeah, Ibrahim Khalif was there. Brian Ozzie was there. I mean, it was Gina Brion was there. Like it was popping that week. Jordan Fisher.
He closed out on the Sunday show. He closed it out.
Andy did a show.
Andy Forster had a show. Andy, I can't think of his name, but he left. I got his face. Andy Woodall, he did a show.
Yeah, Andy
Jay
Woodall
Bliss had a show. We had
who put it together?
He did.
Me and Shada Diaz. We talking about putting together a festival, but it, like he said, it was the design of it was literally to showcase at the time, because we had shows all over the place. I hit up people that ran shows and say, look, if we all put together our shows on 1 week for that month, everything that we got 1 week for that month, we can literally showcase what we're capable of doing. And it was on Memorial Day weekend. It's one of the weekends that most people would have thought, so man, this ain't gonna work. And it was
popping. Bro, it was like the whole city was taking on fire.
Yeah, because people
and every show was a sellout crowd. Yeah. So even the ones at Neptune.
Yeah. So like they like the pictures I can show you from that first year, you be like, okay, you ain't gonna never be able to top that. And we had I remember that Thursday night. That Thursday, in terms of it's like you can take risks or you can play it safe. That Thursday night, I think we had at least 4 or 5 shows running. Almost the same. I ain't had no car this time. I was driving around a U-Haul van, one of those big U-Haul vans, with chairs in the back and stuff like that, just going from place to place. We was just making it happen. And
I was just driving up here just to hang out. And I wasn't even on. I was on the show on like Tuesday, and I think I was on one like that Saturday. I was up here every day just to see what was going on. It was that pop. It was like CIAA weekend for comics.
Yeah, and it was. And the thing, like that night worked. That was the challenge night. That was the night. Can we do this many shows in one night? And we did.
Yeah. I mean, it was popping.
And it wasn't just 5 shows in one place.
Yeah.
It was 5 different venues.
It was bound from Chapel Hill to like the Durham.
Yeah.
To Raleigh. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was venues I didn't even know existed in a comedy space.
Yeah.
And it was probably one of the most amazing things I saw in the Triangle. And I was wondering, are you ever thinking about bringing it back?
We're supposed to bring it back. I just got to figure out when, because the thing about that made that work was the venues. Yeah. A lot of the venues were dope. A lot of so with Comedy Me, in terms of like from my stage scenery background, it's the aesthetic. If you walk into a space and it's dope, Neptune's that space. You walk down to the basement, you walk into that spot's dope. Even King's upstairs, you walk into that spot's dope. A lot of the venues, when you walk into it, they dope. Like you already walking into it. It's like, okay, what's all right? You're already walking into it feeling good. So that was one of the things we had to make sure that all the shows were set up right. I played off of the chairs, played off of where the stage goes, played off of all those aspects of building that, and just kind of playing off of that because it matters. Sometimes you see shows and like I've been to way too many shows where we ain't got no chairs set up. The show started in like 15 minutes. So what we doing? So like, but it's if you prep for that, if you do that type of stuff, you're planning for. I know it's a horrible show, but it's not good.
And it was crazy because like behind the scenes, it wasn't that many people.
No,
it was a lot on y'all.
Yeah, the first year was me and Shadi, and I did a lot of it. Like people don't realize how much I like planning stuff out and like how meticulous I am, but I made all the lineups. I hit up most of the venues. Shadi got a lot of the venues. I went through every fucking submission tape, and I had a process of how I judged every comic based off their laughs.
Well,
their
how
laughs
do you
per
judge?
minute. I'm going off your laughs per minute. It's like, yes, I might know you, or I might see you around. There's some people that got in, there's some people that didn't get in. Some people were salty about it. It's like, okay, if you send me a shitty video, I'm not going off of it. This can't be one of those things where hook me up.
Yeah.
Like, because there's a process, there's order, there's rules. If you can't follow the rules, so many people sent me reels, like multiple like videos of just them chopped up. It's like, and that's a no.
You need to see a whole set organically.
I need to see like you can have one bad joke in it. I need to see that. Like I want to see how you recover.
Absolutely.
Your recovery to me is way better than how funny you are, because your recovery matters, because you can get in front of that crowd that might not laugh at something, and if you can't keep going.
Advice for the people watching: in any set, I've noticed one thing: you only get one recovery.
Yeah.
You only get one. Like you fuck up and you bail yourself out of that one, you're done, because it's not gonna work after that. Like you can play on the joke being bad. You can do a lot of things in that moment when you tell a bad joke, but you tell another bad joke 3 minutes later, it's not ain't nothing you can do. Go get them laughing again. But you get one. It's kind of like when you play Sudoku. You get that one mistake before the shit's fucked up and you lose your run.
So like I have a different background for that. Like I say 3.
You get 3?
Yeah, I say 3 because in comedy or in the improv, this is what I learned in improv. You can like, let's say if I make a mistake first, if I do it once and I gotta play off of it, and I do it again, if I play off it again, if I do it again the 3rd time, now it looks like I meant to do it.
Oh, okay.
Like it looks like
so
I meant to
do it. So
do
if you fuck up, you better fuck up either once or 3.
Like yeah, because like if you fuck up again, like if you fuck up the 2nd time and you play off the same thing, you've now just set up this to this audience and they don't know it. They just think you bad.
Yeah, because they don't know your set.
They don't know your set. That's what I'm saying. They don't know your set. But if you do it again and do it the 3rd time around, now it seems like you did it because you did it twice before.
I like that.
And that's the rule of 3. Improv wise, that's the rule of 3 in terms of like I can keep improv taught me you can at least play off of something 3 times.
Okay.
That's what's up.
And it's bad stuff and it's good stuff. Like sometimes 3 is the max. And sometimes you can go more than that when it's really hitting. But a lot of times after 3, it's okay. I now need to move on to something else. But improv really helped me craft most of my stuff. And it really does depend on the crowd too. So if the crowd ain't feeling it, like even if you recover and the crowd ain't feeling recovery, you cannot do another.
Absolutely.
Like you cannot fuck up because like they just told you.
You lost them.
Yeah, they just told you. It's like, all right, nigga. It's like, all right, you walking that line.
All right, one last question. As you know, I got my hour set coming up next week.
Yes, sir.
And I've been hitting you up for advice like ever since I finally booked that bitch. So I know I'm getting on your nerves. I know I'm killing you.
No, you're not.
Like I know for a fact that I'm getting on your nerves. But one question that I have, and I think you're probably the perfect person to answer this, especially when you was talking about laughs per minute. Mm-hmm. For longer sets, is it good to have a high laugh per minute or a lower laugh per minute so you don't laugh out your crowd in your hour?
So if you're doing 45 minutes, doing just a longer set, pacing, okay? If you can have a high laugh per minute, but you allow them to actually recover. If you don't allow your audience to recover, like or just switch up stuff here and there, you can run the risk of laughing them out.
Right.
But
Chick-fil-A pants, man.
Yeah. But you also, I wouldn't overthink it either. If it's hitting,
Cause I have a high laugh per minute.
but that's saying,
It's like-
but that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't overthink the fact that they're laughing because like you're there to showcase what you do,
Right.
and if what you do is have a high laugh per minute, and they know that, they ain't gonna laugh themselves out of it because
Gotcha.
they know that. That's why I said the thing about they're coming to see you. They're not.
Absolutely.
You have to have a mentality. They're coming to see you, not coming to see is this nigga funny. That's different from when you're doing your own show versus when you're just on the showcase.
Gosh.
Yeah. That's what's up.
So now I gotta get people to come see me. So, cause like I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen, right? I'm gonna get there's gonna be a bunch of Williamson niggas. Cause this nigga right here,
I forgot you were from that area.
this motherfucker right here can get people to come. Like for example, when I do my radio show, right, and he up here, we got like 130 Williamson niggas in that bitch.
Oh, them niggas travel, man.
Yo,
they
they
down
support.
to go. They down to go to places.
Yeah.
But surfer niggas
They
is like
support
that.
now.
The Plymouth niggas ain't like that.
like I might
They
end
won't
up
go nowhere.
like at that show, everybody gonna be there to see him.
But no, like, but even if they there to see you, like, think about that. This is what I won't say it's an alley-oop, but this is what that does. Everybody that's on the show that can bring people on the show, and the fact that you put these people on the show, their audience is not gonna be mad at you. Their audience is gonna be appreciative. There's always gonna be. They should be supportive because of the fact that we wouldn't be here if you didn't give that person that opportunity to do
That's what
that.
I've been telling him the whole time.
Yeah,
I'll
he
thank
been telling me that.
I'll thank him for like putting me on the show. He be like, it ain't me, it's you. What has it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because the thing is, and
so he's about to try to explain it again.
I'm not even gonna try. I'm going to explain it.
Okay, I'll wait.
You can't. I don't give a fuck who you are. Even Eddie Griffin don't put on a show by himself. You need other people to make
But
that
he
show
can.
good.
But he
Hey,
decides.
Eddie Griffin just
Eddie
need one other
Griffin
person.
But that's one other person.
But he decides who that person is.
Yeah.
Boom.
But what I'm saying though is, even if I choose somebody, I didn't choose you because you were my friend. I chose you because you're great.
And I appreciate
that's
it.
it.
It was
So,
still
like-
a choice that you made.
Yeah.
You missing that whole point.
That's what I'm saying. But also,
I didn't really. You ain't give me a choice.
But
You ain't give me a choice.
Corner dude, he's like, hey nigga.
Nah. Just off of like being
Or just
like
being
his
together.
homeboy.
Yeah.
And seeing him work and seeing him grow and seeing the moments where I'm like, hey man, let's go do this mic. And where a lot of niggas be like, man, I don't feel like it. I don't want to get up. There was times I had to drag this nigga on stage. And the thing is, but he didn't. But you know, like you can't make a grown man do some shit he ain't gonna do.
Yeah.
So he had to have something in himself to make.
He had to want to do it. He just had to need.
Yeah.
He just needed that push.
So the thing is, so when I'm doing when they ask me, all right, who do I want on the show, or whatever. Number one, I'm thinking who the people that I'm cool with. But then it's like not just who I'm cool, but who are the people that work? Who are the people that you always see grinding?
So
who
I
are the
ain't
people?
working enough? No, okay,
Nah.
okay.
Nah, it won't that.
I have
And then
to
who are the people that don't never get seen?
Yeah.
Like for example, Janine,
Yeah.
fantastic, phenomenal comedian. Never gets up, never gets like her shots at like, you know, opening for people and stuff like that. Teron, another great. Never really gets his chance to get on. So my thing was, I was like, all right, yeah, I can hit up Matt, hit up Mello, and they on all the time. Who's the only one that hardly ever gets
No, I
on?
get-
that actually deserves to be on. Because there's some people that don't get on. I know why you don't get on. But there's some people that don't get on. You're like, why the fuck are they not getting on? Like for example, another one, Aaron Rance. Great fucking comedian. He don't get on as much as he used to. I don't know why. But like it's just like, so my thing is just to try to make sure that like the people that walk with me ride with me.
So that whole system right there is basis alone for why I'm trying to. The mentality was trying to get everybody to get together and actually act like you ain't gotta like me, but we all comics. So like let's fuck with each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll see a New York comic that travels. They're bringing a person that they're bringing their road people. They're bringing their people that work with them, like that, like Shadi is one of my people. So like, and she says it for me too. Like whenever she gets an opportunity, if I'm available, she'll reach out to me because of the work that we put in together.
Right.
And like there's like some of my students, like Kim, Janine. I wish to be honest with you, I wish I saw Janine more. I wish like she was around more. I wish she don't have the lifestyle to kind of really be around more.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes away from it a little bit. But like I wish she was around more because if she's around more,
You'll
but
see
you
it.
see her more and would do more stuff. Like I try to actually hand out or help out And I'm watching all of it too.
Yeah.
So lately, just because I don't get a chance to get an opportunity here, if I'm trying to build this thing and this thing works, there's a trickle down effect.
Yeah, but see, you're the godfather. So like me, I have Janine and Teron. That's all I got in my little circle. You know what I mean? You, on the other hand, you've mentored countless of acts over the years. So now your pool is so big. Like I would hate to be you when it's time to pick a shot, because you're gonna have some people who's gonna be pissed.
No, I know that, but also the one thing, I don't want them to be pissed. I just want them to know, if this thing pops off like I wanted to pop off, oh, that's enough for all of us to hit.
Right.
It's just like everybody just can't be on that one show.
You had one thing that I thought was gonna really blow up I want to say it was called the International something, the comedians. It
was for the pandemic happened.
Yeah. It was like you, Bobo,
and all that. Like, it was such a diverse group.
Yeah, it was a real diverse, like a Power Rangers.
Yeah. And the only reason that stopped because of the pandemic.
Yeah,
our last show was a couple days before the pandemic happened, man. That show was.
Yeah, y'all had a good thing going with that. I was like, man, that is a fire idea, because like you're going to sell out almost every show you do because of how diverse that show is going to be.
And a lot of them, it came from most of my students that's taking the classes and just kind of giving I think we were just talking about it one day, and like they said it, and I was like, oh, y'all should do that.
Yeah.
And then like they first thought I was just kidding around. I was like, no, y'all should do that.
Yeah.
Y'all should make that. And then they did it, and it was successful. Every show was actually pretty good.
That's what's up.
So to close out, we always ask. You want to ask the question, because you've been quiet all day?
Well, no, we're good. Just, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of a cliche now, but like just that advice that you would have for anybody coming up that asks you, Matt, I want to get into comedy. What do I do?
I would say one of the realest things that I can say so much.
Yeah.
But one of the, like in my classes now, one of the things I'm constantly leaning back on is trust yourself. Because I'm going through, like, there's so much a mental battle in it, and if you don't trust yourself, you're gonna stop a couple times.
Yeah,
you're gonna talk yourself out of opportunities because of the fact that, okay, I don't know, but it's like anybody that wants to do it, and this is one of those things, that's people that they'll say, I can never do that, and that's people that say, I want to do that. If you're one of those people that say, I want to do that, trust yourself.
That's what's up. Trust yourself.
Yeah.
What you got?
Oh, I ain't got nothing. We always giving that advice. I'm gonna let Matt's gonna be the one to give out the advice today. I would say, love each and every last one of y'all. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy.
Yo, again, this is another episode of The Slice. I'm Teron Rogers.
I'm HL.
I'm Matt White.
Yo.
Salute.
The way it going down, the pride hugging. Yeah, Manolo, Mr. Doe, Flo Frazier, out. I spit it in to get the chest, no rhyming. Quick to say P, don't worry, it's all timing. I slid in like a nigga that didn't pay, backdoor style. Shut the club down with a K. You know NC at it again, aiming at your cabbage again. I flow with a magical blend. Step up, get dropped to a tragical end. You know the kush got my lungs about as black as my skin. From Raleigh, NC down to Duluth, Georgia.